starting. We're going to be jumping into John. And as I've mentioned before, I'm a Bible geek. I like the Bible a lot. It's just a fascinating book. I get excited about the things that I've been able to discover, mostly because as a small child, I had lots of questions. You've been around, people, probably my children, who just, all the questions, all the time. And that was me. And the constant question for me, the answer was always like, you just got to accept it. It's in there. You got to believe it. And that was just a frustrating, infuriating thought to me, because I'm like, surely it has to be more thoughtful than this. Surely it can't just be, blindly believe. Yeah, it's good. You don't have to think about it too deep. Just accept it. And so the challenge for me that has always been as we go through these passages, I am going to do my absolute best to trim just as much of it as I can, because I want you guys to really, but more importantly, I want to see you guys fall in love with God's word, because it is wondrous. It is wondrous and deep and life-giving. And so as we look at today's passage, I'm going to jump straight in, and I'm going to give you an intro to the book itself, and then we'll go from there. So as we begin looking, just as a kind of a preface, a little prologue, if you will, to this passage, John, the Gospel of John, or essentially the Gospel according to John, if you will, is what we assume the last Gospel written. So it was written later in John's life. We believe it was written in Ephesus. John had moved from Jerusalem to Ephesus. Supposedly he went there with Mary, Jesus' mother, and was with her in her last days. But he was ministering in Ephesus at this point. We believe that this was written after Paul's death, which is like 65, 66, because he mentions the way Paul dies. So there's a lot of little key factors here. One of the things that's incredibly interesting and relevant to this book is that it's not like all the other Gospels. Matthew, Mark, and Luke are called the Synoptic Gospels. They have a lot of carryover. There's a lot of similar stories. There's a lot of things that match up. John does not. And we don't know if it's because he didn't know about them or he read them and found them insufficient for what he wanted to leave for the people he was ministering. And he wanted to add some vital pieces. One of the things that John's gospel has been called is the gospel of spirit. It is a beautifully deep, theologically overwhelming book. Just go ahead and know. There are going to be topics in here that are going to make your head bleed. It's hard. There's going to be things in here that challenge you because they're really difficult to process. But my encouragement is this. If we serve the God that we could fully, holy smokes,